Well, hi, everybody. It is great to have you join us. I hope your small group is going well and you're having fun together. I hope you're eating some food, by the way. This weekend, we're looking at Psalm 40. And though it doesn't mention the word peace in the Psalm, it's David's response to God for showing up in his life and helping him with all of his trouble. Remember, he's been running from King Saul. He's been hiding in caves, all kinds of stuff. And he's writing these amazing Psalms. Well, Psalm 40, he finally says, Lord, thank you that you heard me. And there's 4 or 5 points that you guys need to talk about today. First of all, is just the idea of how do you respond to waiting? Because I'm not very good at it. So when you wait, are you waiting patiently? Because it says, the very first verse of Psalm 40 says, I waited patiently. It's like, it's one thing to wait, but it's another to wait patiently. And so I just want you to talk about, when are you most annoyed? Like, a pet peeve of mine is when I'm sitting at a stoplight and a green arrow, I'm trying to turn left and I'm like car 5 or 6. And if they don't get going when it changes, I'm not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't wait that patiently. But then he goes on and he changes gears multiple times. You need to remember when you read Psalm 40 that the Lord does what I cannot do. And he says, he lifted me out of the pit of despair. This could be a real serious moment in your small group, but I challenge you, have a moment where you talk about days that were not so good in your life. Maybe you could share a time that you felt some of that despair, because this is real. Our culture has a lot of depressed people in it, especially now coming out of COVID and everything. So talk about that. Be honest about your feelings. David was honest with God. And then he goes on to say, point 3 would be, we are called more to be rather than to do. And this whole point has to do with the idea that I can't just do better and earn points with God. So he says, you take no delight in the sacrificial offerings, burnt offerings, sin offerings. Why is he saying that? Because he knows the real way to God is to love him with all your heart. Doing God's will isn't from a list, a checklist. It's from wanting and desiring to walk in obedience to God. That's the bottom line. Obey him. Keyword, surrender. Not an easy word. And then finally, I just want to leave you with this idea that your weakness is where God can show up and be strong. What are you facing right now that you're worried about, that it's not your strong point? You've got to cast it on to the Lord. Talk about that. Open up. Share with these friends who are with you. This is what I'm struggling with, and this is where God has to step up in my life, okay? Love you guys. Thank you. Have a great time talking. God bless.